Yeah. So our objective, as I said, will be going little towards the automation. When I say the automation, in our DevOps job, like different kinds of automation will be there. Till now, we did some kind of resource provisioning. So we will be talking on that context. For resource provisioning, the famous resource provisioning, like when I say resource means service creation, like EC2, S3, load balancer, anything. We don't go to the AWS console. We don't click like the normal clicks and all. In the implementation, if we want to do repetitive task kind of, better to convert that kind of task into the Terraform. Let me ask you a few of the questions in between as well. Can you guys help me, like, in our discussion we discussed, right, like what is the alternative for Terraform? What are the alternatives are there in the market?
CloudFormation, Ansible.
Ansible,
Yeah.
CF,
Some more. Yeah, that is correct. Whichever you said is correct. Few more, like if developers will not be the session. Already it is recording this session. Session is already recording. Like, some more, right? Developers will be using some kind of
Yeah,
Python,
Java,
Go
yeah,
language.
Python, Go language.
exactly, languages, Python, Go language, they'll be using it. In the every language, they'll have one kind of SDK, something that will help them to create it. They don't want to learn Terraform code extra. They can do in their language only. You can use any language which has a AWS SDK support, which has a connectivity with the API behind. So Terraform built on which language?
HashiCorp.
Go language.
Java.
Behind is the
Open.
Go language it is. So we don't write the Go language. We write this. Yesterday we were telling, right, some of the blocks, like we were discussing, right, some of the blocks thing.
Yeah, resource data source.
Copy lot. You know, right, some of the resource block and one
Right.
more block. What is that?
Data.
Data source.
So this is that I was going to one page, right? Single page here. Some page.
Yeah, .tf.
Let's say Yashika. Easy to. Yeah. So this page, right? So whatever you see, right, this kind of thing, this is the blocks, blah, blah, something, right? This is called HCL, HashiCorp language. It's like HCL, HashiCorp language.
So whatever we are writing is HashiCorp and it's read as Go language.
Yeah, internally that will be converted to the Go, yes. That is the, yes, converted by the Go languages. And then it will convert it as an API, it will go to the AWS, the interaction. Like for example, Terraform code, like start.tf, and you will use that command. It will be go internally and then it will go to the API and then it will interact with AWS behind. So every call with the API, you know, three ways you can interact with AWS, right? As I said, one is the console, CLI, and then API. CLI to interact. What was that tool we were using to interact with AWS? Not using, I was told one CLI tool.
Visual
AWS.
Studio.
It's AWS CLI. Usually we say that AWS CLI. So when you are running these commands, it will look for credentials at one place, right?
Yeah, it's in .aws folder.
Yeah, in your home directory. Bring that
Yeah.
directory dot AWS. So I have multiple accounts. How can I separate the multiple accounts?
So adding profiles.
Yeah, exactly. Here you will have two files, very important, config and
Credentials.
we'll have multiple profiles. Same applies to this as well. If you're running from outside of the AWS cloud, it can be local or it can be from other cloud type, like something. If it is in the cloud, we don't go with the, you can use, but not to good practice to go with the this keys and all. Go with the IAM role within the cloud. So Let me go with this. So Terraform is the a resource provisioning tool, service creation tool, where you will write in the block language, HCL block kind of language, and then inside that block, some inputs will go, which are called arguments, and then after you apply that Terraform, so resources will get created. Yeah, please, can you see any noise? Okay. Well, it's got started. So you write the dot .tf code, and then you should have the Terraform command also, and then you go inside that folder wherever tf files are there. There you do first command is init. The init will scan your files. It will find that what are the providers are using, like the AWS underscore something, right? AWS is the provider. Such kind of keywords it will find out. It will download a plugin, Go language plugin, and then it will keep in that same folder wherever you did the start.tf, right? In that same folder, it will keep, and then it will create one log.html file. That log.html files and all was not available in the older language. I mean, sorry, older versions. It came in the after some versions only it came. That is the one. So you do Terraform init. That is the first command we do. Anytime you wrote the TF code, first time only. Next time onwards, no need to do that. If it is a new folder and there is a no.terraform folder, then we run the Terraform init. That will find and then downloads the plugin. And then usually we do some kind of validation commands to check whether syntax is correct or not, validate, fmt. And one more command was to see that what is the resource you are going to create. I want to get some kind of blueprint kind of output, like one to
Plan.
something plan. And the original command is the which will create your resources with the TF code is called apply. So sometimes people will be asking like this kind of questions. What is the Terraform flow? First is the init, next is the plan, next is the apply. There are other helpful commands like to debug and all. I mean to debug in the sense to check the syntax and all, validate and FMT. Few more are there, we will see them. So you should know that Terraform is the one which will avoid log into the console and then create multiple clicks. With instead of that, you can write in one file, apply it, that will create the resources. That is the one. Cool. So we did few of the some kind of commands yesterday. This is the one. These are the blocks will be in the Terraform code. We will discuss few more blocks today, and then we will further will continue on our session. Class. I uploaded the videos in some kind of the last weekend sessions as well. I'll rename it after some time. I uploaded them. I'll rename them into the correct order, but videos are being uploaded. Can you guys tell me here? How can I check? I'm using some role, some access key, secret key. If you see access key, secret key, you cannot find that which user something and all. Until you go to the console, you have to compare. In the console, you cannot see secret key. You can see access key. If you have the access key, you can compare in the in the users, you can see left side somewhere, right side somewhere, you can see the access key. But I wanted to know, this is we do lot of times in debugging time. This is the one I want to do. How can I check which user or role I'm using it?
AWS is STS get some command.
STS
Okay.
called identity. This is the command we use to check whether, please, this is we use a lot of times in debugging. If something is failing, I wanted to check immediately something under. Let's say, for example, from EC2, I'm running this command inside EC2. So inside EC2, I have installed, or EC2, for example, in EC2, I will install one tool called Jenkins, or for example, GitLab. Instead of me, I am running this command, right? Please just I'm bringing some keywords. You think it from your local only. EC2 is like, for example, you already know, right? Inside this, I installed it. In this, I'm running this command. This Terraform, init I did, init success, plan also success sometimes, for example, apply. During apply time, I have here some star.tf code. From this star.tf code, I'm creating some SQS. There is alternate one more SNS also. It's not alternative, one more is there. This is to send an email sender. And then I'm creating EC2. Inside EC2, I installed these tools. From these tools, I'm running this command. Instead of running manually, right? I will give it to these tools will run it. These tools, while running it, they're creating these resources. I got an error now. I got an error. To get this went through, this went through, this got successfully. But while creating this, it got failed it. What could be the problem? You know already. Somewhere.
Yeah, they don't have IAM roles for.
Yeah, this worked. This worked then.
That's what. Maybe they're not allowed for all the resources, right?
Yeah, what is that? What is that? You have to check. Yeah, you told correct only that.
No,
I think
yeah.
it will be.
Okay, they have to check the role policies only, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
because EC2, right? Within EC2, you are creating it. So you have to check the IAM, and then that IAM role will have a
policy.
policy. You saw right last weekend session. I mean, sorry, in the weekend, you can connect from one account to another account also with the trusted policy. So,
Right.
so you have EC2 here in another account also you can do that. So between those roles, you have to do trusted thing. Then you can create it. So please, if we are failing sometimes, right, we add this command, we debug it, we debug that, we will come to know which role it is using internally. Then we will troubleshoot further. So this is a very helpful command in the debugging. Keep this. Cool. So, what's this? So let me go further. This is the one. So yesterday we were having an issue. I went through to this folder. Let me go for. Let me go in the GitLab folder. Yeah. So from this, let me run. Yesterday we created one resource from our from this folder.
Yeah, S3 we created.
S3 I created it. This is the one we created yesterday. I created this S3, and then I brought some of these things. I commented out that time. We were having an issue. Let me continue further. What was this AWS console? So my objective was now to cover like some kind of theoretical, and then we will create the EC2. So to create EC2, right, here we are writing the everything in the code. So as an EC2, right, to create an EC2, listen the keyword, to create an EC2, we use a block called resource block. In this resource block, we will give like kind of provider kind of type, and then this is the logical name, you can have it. Inside this, we will pass some logical. So I mean to say, these are called arguments. Here, for these arguments, right, we will be passing some values. You can hard code also this one. Directly, I can go to the AWS console. Let me bring it here. Launch instance. I can bring this instance type. I can bring this. Directly, I can hard code also. Like this. So you can comment out. In VS Code, right? Select this block and then do control slash. Select that block, control slash. It does comment and then uncomment, kind of shortcut. Okay. So this is my objective. Let me go above. So by seeing this, you should have the knowledge saying that this is the instance it is going to. Resource means to create it. This is the one. You can add code also like this. Something because this is already existed kind of component, right? You can hard code this. But usually, right, if there is an existing component, I want to get the data. For that, to get the data, existing components, like resource block in Terraform, there is a block called data source block. This we call as a data source block. Every resource, if you go to this page, right, every resource, majority resources, they will have a resource block as well as data source block. If you go right here, data source block. So every, yeah, you go to right here, this is the one. So if you go down little, you will have a data source block. In the data source block, I used this section, and then we got this kind of component. So my objective here is I don't want to hard code the values for easy to creation, right? I don't want to hard code the AMI type. I wanted to get by matching, like dynamically saying this instance, this AMI type. To get the dynamically from the AWS console, to read, I used a data source block, and then I was passing some filters. These filters will help you to filter one of the AMI. So let me go to that console here. Here. Instances, AMIs. Yeah. Please, if you write one time, next time onwards, same copy paste the code, and then the changing the value. Initial time it takes little time, but next time onwards, copy paste that code and then change that the variables. Let's say I created Apache, next time onwards Tomcat. Copy paste the same code. That is how it does. First time only takes little time to get the keywords. Keep that thought, okay? So with that, let's go here. I wanted this AMI ending with A79. Yeah, this is the one. So here, right, I'm going to get this AMI ID dynamically from Terraform code. So I was using this block, and then we are filtering it. The filtering is like this. There is a one more name, the virtualization type, the values, something. If you go to the owners, select that AMI, you will have that properties, extra properties, you will have it. Select this one. You will have some kind of properties here below. So from this, I'm passing one by one properties inside the data block, and then we will get the AMI ID. Let me get that. So yesterday I was passed this one. Instead of that, right, you can use this name only that I saw. So you can select this name to me here. So few things important. TF files it will end, and then resource block to create, and then inside that arguments will be there, and the data block to get the data. Whatever you got this output here, you will have some output, right? If you apply this, you will have one output. What is that output you will have is this AMI ID. How to call one block to inside that block? That concept is called interpolation. So like, not only for data source, you can call from one resource to another resource also. So how do you call is, you will take this name and then the provider name dot logical name, and then there will be some attributes will be there. So when you execute this block, you will have an output. That output is called attribute. There will be multiple attributes will be there. We will see now. So you remember yesterday, after I set up VS Code, I installed some kind of extensions here, right? These extensions are very helpful. Like for example, let me take one more. For example, TF, for example, I want to create one EC2. AWS. See, you see, right? Automatically they're prompting. Now you select it. Oh, sorry, resource. See, automatically they're prompting AWS underscore. So I'm typing it instance. Now, sorry. Instance. Now inside this, like for example, please have the tool as an the plug this thing the extensions, please install them. Now here, you type it, automatically other values will come. Here, right? Some values will come. Next, for example, instance type. So you see, right? There are some more some more extensions are there. If you install, right? When you type it, total block will come. So with you no need to do like kind of individual command, like no need to type the keywords. Use this the extensions helpful. So with that, right? So whatever outputs are coming right from this block, that output is called attribute. That attribute, let's say for example, let me remove it. I don't want hard code here. I want to call dynamically existing one. You can type data dot like this dot. It will only tell you here. The VS code will tell you. So usually AMI need AMI ID. You have a lot of AR and blah blah. From this block, you are getting this many attributes. This many attributes. But this AMI need one attribute. How do you get little practice? Something like you will get it right here. Click on this one. So as I said, please use these extensions, and then that extensions will help you like syntactically some corrections and all that will help you a lot. So save this file. Come on, this one. Yeah. So we created as yesterday S3. This is the syntax I copy pasted from this page, and then we wanted to go with EC2. Yeah. So to create EC2, you need some kind of properties. You told already AMI, instance type, PEM, security group. We will come one by one. For now, let's see. These are some basics. We'll get the keywords. AMI instance type. These are the ones I have hard coded. This also you can variabilize it. Not to data block. Somewhere we will see that. What are the blocks are there? These are the tags. So from where, if you do Terraform plan or apply, Terraform will scan this, all the files. It will scan all the files. It will find the dependencies here. Listen the keyword dependencies. For to create EC2, here what is the dependencies there here? Can you guys tell me here what is this called?
EMI.
AMI. First, in this, right, it will execute this block. It will find the dependencies automatically. Terraform has very good intelligence. First, it will scan. Oh, there is a block is there. Let me execute it. I'll get that output. I'll pass it to here. That is the one. The interdependencies, Terraform has good intelligence. Sometimes it may throw an error like, hey, create that. You can put the dependency. Hey, first execute this, then you can execute this later. You can say that depends something. That is called explicit dependence. By default, Terraform has good intelligence. It will find it, what to order, what to execute first order and all. It has that good intelligence. Good. Let me keep it here. Dependency. By default, it has. You can explicit also, you can define. That block, it will go inside these blocks only. Here only inside these blocks only, there is a keyword called user, right? Depends on something. You can say that also. Now exclude it. Cool. So let me run from, I'll go inside this folder. I will do, this is my regular job next time onwards. Like wherever Terraform code is there, if these folders are not available, the first command will be init, next can be plan, next is the apply. These are the regular commands we do. Terraform. Next time onwards, no need to do. If there is already this folder is there, right? No need to do init again. Just you can go to the plan. So it takes keys from your access key, secret key from your home directory, automatically it will take, and then it will go to the AWS. It will get some kind of data, and then it is saying it one to add. So you can see, right, plus symbol. It is going to create it. Is right? It is going to create it, and then it got AMI ID also something, and then there are right inside this some will be arguments, some will be important arguments required, some will be optional. So you can go to this page. You can see, right? EC2. Copy pasted that as is. If you go down right here, attributes, something. AMI is optional, something. By default, it may pick one AMI. Some of them like instance types. Let's see. Yeah. Some of them optional. Some of them will be like you will have a keyword called required something. So if you miss that required, right, it may throw an error. It will throw an error. Optionals are important. Like you can exclude optionals. So let's say, for example, this availability zone I can exclude. So some of you after like when you do some kind of activity, right, based upon your use case, you have to select this argument based upon that. So let's go here to this Terraform code plug. Yeah, here. So right, in the TF, two blocks now. One is the resource block, one more is the data block. So there are some more blocks will be there, which we use like in the regular in the projects. Like for example, I'm getting this data, right? This one. I want to print also here in the down. Here also I want to print also. After plan or after apply, I want to print also. For that, right? Use on data resource. There is a block called outputs block. So let me create. So I can have all into one file also, but what is the good practice is to we separate based upon the naming convention some of the files. So that will help us to like whenever you have multiple files, right? Instead of in one file clubbing all together, we separate the files. So one of the file is you will have it outputs.tf. Here you can say that you say it output. Like for example, I want to print AMI underscore ID. Inside this, you can have a description, for example. Oh, sorry, not depends. Description. You can say print AMI ID. Here you will have a value. Now here is that. I want to call AMI ID here. Same logic. How did you call the AMI ID in the resource block? Same logic applies here. Can you guys tell me here? How I'm getting AMI value? AMI ID. Who is helping me getting the AMI ID?
Data.
Yeah, data block. So same, like, can you guys tell me here? You see, right? Automatically it is prompting this guy, data.id. Let me put it here. So outputs are mainly to print only. These are like helpful blocks for us. It doesn't create any resources. It doesn't do anything. After you do apply, after you do like plan, sometimes plan will display you some of the values. Sometimes it will say that after apply, I will get the value. Like for example, public IP or like for example, any like VPC ID, blah, blah, something, right? After apply only will get that. So for now, what are the blocks? One is the resource block. One more is the data block. One more is the output block. This you are calling, right? Like this. This is called, you can have multiple sections. You can have like multiple sections. You can have it output, copy, paste next time. That's it. Next time. You can have like this. You can have like this, multiple sections. So this way you are calling, right? That is called interpolation. Calling one block value from one place to another place. That is called interpolation. We will be bringing technical keyword. Values. That is called arguments. So resource outputs only to print only. It doesn't create anything. Just it will pass one value. After that, I got this value. I want to print it something that. So like this, I want to print after my EC2 creates, right? After EC2 creates it, I want to print EC2 some kind of properties. Like for example, EC2 instance ID or public IP something. Let's put that. Maybe. Yeah. So let me bring it here. However, you got like this, right? After you execute this, you will get these values. You will get this public IP or instance ID after executing that. So you have to, now you have to call this block outputs to here. So you have to use that interpolation logic here. What did you call? Same way. Like you have to say that resource dot. You have to call like this. Oh, wait. Dot. What was that name? Web. Web dot. Why it is not printing? It should print, man. Used to print space. Maybe syntax error somewhere. Dot. For now, that's okay. Public AP. Yeah, got it. Next. Here I will saying copy paste. Yeah, instance. This. So few things here. Resource block to create, data block to get the data, outputs block to during the plan or after apply, it will print that these values. Depends upon the resource type, depends upon the value type you are calling it. So three things in the TF outputs, resource, data. Outputs mainly to print. That's it. This we will use a lot in the like the regular projects also. We will be using a lot many times.
For value, it is instance ID, no, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. See, from this folder again, do again the regular command plan. Somewhere is something is missing. Okay, let me see. For now, just print the name. That's it. Somewhere syntax went wrong. That's it. Let me print. This is for print. Public IP. Print name. Yeah. So this recent version, right? It will tell you very good errors also in which line the error is coming. Oh my God. Something matter. That's okay. For now, I'll comment it out to this thing. Resource dot AWS instance dot user it web dot public IP. Yeah, that is correct. Let's see. So the what I was telling is the recent versions, right? They'll give very clear, good understanding English message. It will tell you in which line under the file also it will tell you. If you are using older versions, right? Somewhere it doesn't throw proper the error that I have seen it. 0.13 still we are using it, so it doesn't throw like the clear. Some projects they'll be using it if they have not been migrated properly, right? Still, the latest versions will give you that which file, which where under error. That let's go the plan again. Yeah, so it worked. See here, right? This is the block is printing in the plan. In the plan, the data block executed it. After resource block, you will get this property. This value will get it. So which block is helping to get this is the output block. So keep this done. Now let me apply it. See, we are completely avoiding the going to the console, create new 1, 2. We are avoiding it. Everything in the TF, write it once. Next time onwards, we will reuse the same code. Wait. You can see that first, this is something, it's reading blah blah something, it is saying it, and then it is checking that the S3 bucket in your local something got changed or something, and then that output is passing to here. Say that yes. Let me say no for now. There is a one more command instead of missing. Instead of you are passing yes or no, right? We used to pass -, I think let me see, auto approve. No need to do again yes or no something. This we use in the automation tools, like we run command, that's it. We leave the during the apply. We don't want to, because that automation tool won't you to interact there like your laptop. Just there will be one code will be there, command will be there. Just execute that one click button. Behind only it will approve automatically. So this is with this, right? You no need to do again interactively yes or no. You no need to do that command enter. Yeah, hyphen auto approve. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. True. So usually, right, in case if you get somewhere the command, right, you can do this help command. You can do help related. That will give you that what are the inside of that apply, what commands you can use extra, it will tell you. That. So I think this hyphen R2 hyphen approve equal to true. So it doesn't ask you again the yes or no. It will go and then create the resources automatically. So please, any apply before you do, first validate the plan. Without plan, never ever, please, never ever apply that apply. First validate the plan, check that anything are changing. It's okay, now we have very less resources. If you go to the projects, right, they'll have bulk of resources components. Yesterday also by mistakenly, we did one where false, all the backups got deleted for some environments for us. We did a mistake. So we don't have option now. So we did validated it. Somehow we found out that can be ignored. But when we kept a false, we missed it it was a big output plan. So there it missed out, and then the backups got deleted, completely backups. Okay. Ignore it. That thing now you see right here, the outputs block is helping you to print the output here. So public IP, you got it after the resource creation. You can have like a lot of these sections. You can have continually. Somewhere something is getting it, that we'll see. So my objective here is to, in the Terraform, you have some blocks, resource block, data block, output block. Output block will, during the plan also it will print, or after the apply. Depends upon what you are printing it. That is one. Now let me go to the console. Go to instance. Yeah, you see here, this instance has been created. It is initializing it. So everything. So there are few automatically this came. This we will assign it. These extra arguments we will assign it. So this is the component has been created it. Now you can apply it back again. It doesn't do anything. You can do plan again. For plan, there is no auto approve something. There is no auto approve command for plan. Only for apply we use that. See here, there you have not modified it. Already one resource is running. That is, there is no difference between that. So that's why it says that no changes. Let's see. You can do a number of times also applying. Until if there is no code modification and the resource, I mean to say remote resource is not modified anything, you can do apply. It doesn't do anything. See here. So you saw it, this is the block. Now, few of the very important keyword this is. In this, right, if I change from one type to another instance family type, the existing EC2 will get destroyed. It will bring new EC2 mission again. So you getting what I mean? There
Yeah,
are
we can't change.
there are some arguments. If you update, resource cannot do for them. Resource cannot control that. That it cannot control. That instance will get terminated, and then new instance will come with that family type. So that is the one thing you should know. Some properties, some arguments, if you update, immutable arguments. If you update, for example, I told it, what is that? For example, instance type. Obviously, what it does, destroy, it will create one more resource. So such kind of things are called immutable arguments. If you touch that immutable argument, obviously what it will do, destroy, and then it will create one more again. Some arguments, like as I said, right? For example, I wanted to add one more here. For example, what I wanted to add, team. DevOps, something. And then like, for example, manual, false. Terraform, true. So these are the tags attributes, right? These tags attributes are mutable. You can modify it. It doesn't destroy. Don't destroy. Just it will update. That's it. So you should know that there are some arguments, if you touch, it will destroy. Some arguments, it will update. That's it. Let's do again. For example, I update only for not tags. See right here. Observe that something here. Earlier we had a create. Now it is saying it update in place. So 0 to add, nothing to destroy, and then just something, one property is getting changed. Some tags are getting updated. Now you go to EC2 mission here. See, observe here, we are avoiding completely the manual interaction in the console. So here is that one property was there, these tags, let's apply them. For some days, just habituate with the manual thing, apply. But you should know that auto approve we use in the automation tools. That automation tool won't allow you to like interact like this. Just run one click, it has to auto approve automatically behind. So you should know that option. Cool. Yes.
So here, without PEM, how it is creating means like anything is backend, it's taking a.
No, we don't have PEM.
Okay, here the access key secret key is the PEM.
You cannot log into this EC2 mission now. No, you cannot log into this EC2 mission. It doesn't have PEM now. You cannot log into this mission.
Means we can't connect, right?
Yes, we cannot connect to this mission. Either SSM or PEM file you need. That we will associate it.
Understand.
You cannot connect to this EC2 mission at all now. That's I can say.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So my objective here is you should know that outputs blocks and one more, some inside resource block, if you touch some of them, it will destroy some of them, it will create back again. Let me update one more, the property. Let's modify 5.2x large. Let's see. See here, one thing got changed. Now you go to the console, it could have been updated those tags. Yeah, you see right here. Cool. So now I updated the family type also. This kind of task you will get it. They want to change. They don't want it. Majority, right? They don't interact in the console. They'll update in the code. You have to plan, and then you have to. If plan works, they will allow you to merge your code somewhere. So right, it is going to change one thing. I think it does. It will replace it. It will destroy that instance, and then it will make it. it is getting updated. Let's try it. Yes. Do we printing instance ID? Previously, what we were printing instance name. Okay, let's wait. Now go to the console, back. Yes, refresh this one. Oh, stopping it. I remember. Previously, it was destroying it. It was bringing the new instance type. Something got updated, I think. Yeah. So for now, let's keep this context. Some properties, if you touch it, it will destroy and then recreate. Some properties, it is getting updated. As I said, the mutable and immutable. That is the keyword I wanted to tell it. So now, you see right here. So I created these resources, and then so you saw that few of the blocks, right? Resource block and then the data block, some of them right here. So we create like this individual files. There are some more blocks. You should know that in the Terraform. So one of the block is, let's say for example, what is the Terraform version we are using currently? You remember any?
1.66.
1.1.
Yeah, one dot. So exactly. So in the interviews, right? Let's play the safe game like one dot x something that you say that. Just safer side. If you have clarity, you can tell that. Sometimes, right? In the projects, what we do, we will lock the Terraform versions also. Okay, this Terraform will work after this version, some kind of locking. For that, right, we will get one extra file called, you can have all in one file, but to separate individually, right, we will update in this file, version.tf. Usually in this file, right, what code will go is, there is a block, you put it like, there is a blocks, right, you know these things. One is the data block, one is the resource block, one is the output block. There is a block called Terraform block itself. Inside this Terraform block, we will specify what under versions, and then some kind of providers, like you are using AWS provider or something like Kubernetes provider or Azure provider, like something we will specify. And then you can specify that, you remember, one of the file, after apply, you will get one file. No? After Terraform apply, you will get one file. One of the most important file. You shouldn't last, I was telling yesterday. It will store in somewhere. Among this, one of the very important file you shouldn't last.
Log.hcl.
No, log.sl is it, plan only it will come. This is the one. TF state. So how to store this TF state in S3? That kind of also. Store TF state in S3. All this information, not S3, that is called remote backend. We call that remote backend. All this information will be there, like you did like this, right? There is a block called like this also. You can specify that Terraform kind of keyword. So usually in which file do we specify that information is a version.tf? No, I don't want to mention here. I can mention there. You can mention, not a problem. But good practice too, we separate that. So there will be like kind of Terraform block. Inside this, you can specify like this version value, something kind of value, kind of constraints. Let me bring one example from internet. If you go top now, somewhere you can find this. This is the, yeah, this is the one. Like this. So you go to this page, right? In top right, you will have like this, use provider. You can copy this thing. You see they told 0.13 plus this code will work something. Copy this one. Sometimes, right, they'll be using some kind of like these symbols. Tilde symbol like this. Sorry, not here. Here we'll be using it. What is this meaning is, let's say for example, when you brought this Terraform block, right? In this Terraform block, you are saying that you are interacting with the cloud provider. Which provider you are interacting? AWS provider. When you do Terraform init, I told now it will download one plugin. This plugin. this plugin version, let's say in future, they will bring one more plugin version. Here, let's download that plugin itself. It will download 5.32, 1.223, something like this. It will increment this number if you have like this. Something. If you have like this, right, it will increment something 33, 34, something. They say that something left at most, it will increment the keyboard. But now let's copy paste that as is. Yeah. This is the one block. You will have it. So here you are going to put some kind of provider versions. You can put a Terraform version also. You can put a Terraform version also here. Version, yeah. You can specify that, use the Terraform version. What is the current version we have? Is that 1.6. You can check it here now. Specify it. And this is the should. Why it is not exported here in the Terraform? It should be. Okay. For now, what I'm telling it, you can mention the Terraform versions also somewhere. I missed the syntax exactly, but just to get that inside this Terraform block, we will be specifying majorly these components. What are the components? Versions, and then the providers, and then how to store in the remote S3. Here you will get inside this block, you will get how to store in the remote backend. Let me keep it here. This is called remote backend. Why do we use store TF state in S3, for example? Here you will get that block. You can have multiple Terraform blocks also. Like here you can have it in another files also. You can have this can be duplicated. That I can say that. Let me comment out for now. Just keep it. Somewhere syntax error I'm getting. I don't want to make that. But theoretically, here is that. So there are the blocks: data block to get the data, resource block to create, output block to print output during the plan or after apply, Terraform to make the constant of the versions, and then what are the providers are using, and then to store the S3. That is the one. And one more block we use. We create one more file extra here. As I said, I'm repeating again. You can club all together in one file. Better to isolate. Whenever there is some troubleshooting comes, you will go directly to that file instead of the single file troubleshooting it. There is one more file we make is the provider.tf. Provider. So in the provider, right? Let's say for example, like this, the block will come. You see, right? There are number of providers are there in the market. If you go to the AWS, that HashiCorp page, no? Somewhere providers here. The provider, this is the plugin will get downloaded during your init time. There are the number of providers are there. Like, so it's up to the project. We will be using in my so currently project, like we will be using AWS, we are using Kubernetes, Helm and all. We are using local random, some kind of vault also we are using. It's up to the use case. So for now, we are interacting with AWS provider. We will say AWS. Very important. Inside this block, what values can go, that is very important inside this provider block. You know, in the Terraform block, versions will go S3 backend settings. Here you can specify, you remember the profiles. When you do AWS configure, you have multiple accounts, right? That you can specify here. Profile. Which profile you want to pick? For example, default. Or you want to pick, by default, it will pick the default profile only. Account 1, something. Some more you can pass it is that these keys also. Access keys. Some more. You can pass it. If you want, one more is the secret key. This and all you can pass it. You remember yesterday I was telling, right? This is for theoretical, I'm telling it. What are the blocks? My objective was to cover the blocks related in the TF code. You can do this. If you're testing in your local, you can do this. But when you are saving this code, right? Here some keys will be there. I'll put blah, 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 something. Blah, blah, something. Please, when I've read this code, right, I'll keep this code in my local when I write it. But I want to share this code to some people, right? Whenever we share this code, we will keep it one place. The code, the Terraform code will be in my local. I want to share, I wanted to give to some tool. I told some tool. We will give this total code to one tool, right? Git, Jenkins, or GitLab. There are market, some tools are there. We will give to all this Terraform code to these tools. Instead of I am running the Terraform command, the Terraform commands, these tools will run. Now we will store at one place all this code. That is called repo, or we call as a source code repo. So if you hard code these values like this, we will store this code to here. Please, as I told yesterday also, never ever store access key secret keys in the here. You can have in your local, but when you are sending to from your local to here, right, please remove that. There are in these tools, right, they will have some security scanning tools here, security scanning tools. That security scanning tool will immediately find that pattern of the keys. It will send you an email. It will send to your email manager also, to that root account administration ID also. It will send it. There is a one guy, he did checked in that code keys, please something. That is a very like dangerous task, dangerous like activity. Never ever push access key security keys from your Terraform code into somewhere. Never ever do that. That is a security practice. Repo or source code repo. That is the one thing. So here, for theoretically, right here, this is the provider block. You can specify here what providers are using. Inside the provider, you can specify it. You can have multiple providers also, like Kubernetes, Helm, as I said, random provider, Vault provider. You can use. We were using them in my project also. That inside this, you can have like this properties. Okay? Let me comment out this as well. Cool. So there are some blocks, Can you guys tell me here what are the blocks we know theoretically, some of them?
Resource block.
What purpose do we use?
To create a resource like this.
Create resource.
Destroy. Yeah. Next.
Data block.
This is called data source here. Data block. To get not only the AMI ID, you can get, there is a one security group is there. I want to get it, that information. And then I want to do something on top of that, something you can do that. And then the VPC ID I want to get. Many data is not for one time. It will be used like many times I can say for now. Okay. One more.
Output block.
Outputs only to print during the plan or after apply. Okay, one more. Sorry.
Only 3.
Oh, some more, no? I told no. I did comment it out. There was some syntax error was coming. So
Version.
this block also, no? Terraform block. Terraform. Like this, it will be there. Like this. Inside that, multiple arguments will go. There is a one more block is called Terraform block. And one more. This is to specify versions. And then the providers. And then the remote backend. For example, S3. I'll show some existing GitHub references. One more. This is the one. The provider.
Providers.
Inside the provider block, what and all can go? Profiles. And
Profile.
then authentication info. This and all can go inside the Terraform. So usually, right, if you see any folder of Terraform code, if you see any Terraform code, folder structure. Like this, it will be there majority times. So there will be start.tf, like for example, ec2.tf, vpc.tf, or ds.tf, for example. Okay. By seeing this, you come to know. From here, they are going to create the resources. Next, versions.tf. In this, we will send the in this block will go, Terraform block will go. And then sometimes they'll do the provider block also. Blindly, we will go for this. One more file called outputs.tf. This is just to print it. Here we will club the resource block, data block, we will club here. Here, what I told, Terraform block can go, or sometimes extra, we will have a provider.tf also. Any queries on this block structure of the folder? Any thoughts you want to ask? We'll show some examples in the internet so that we'll have context. Some people already would have been created it for us. Let's see, this guy is, yeah, this is the good guy. This is the guy is very good. Creation, some of the examples you can see. Yeah, you see, right? They're creating by naming convention here, security group, blah, 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 here, this and that. Let's see these outputs, something. Output block, see, right? So majorly it will be kind of same kind of keywords, little differ here. What is this concept is called? We're calling some value, no?
Interpolation.
Yeah, interpolation will be there. Some of them output here. So purely this file is to print the outputs of that existing resource attributes. I can say that. Now, sorry, let me go back here. One more file, versions.tf. Yeah. Oh, sorry, required version. Okay, cool. So you see right here in this Terraform, in this block, they're mentioning this Terraform code, whatever, right? It would require this kind of version, more than 1.1, 1.2, blah, blah, something. So less than version. Now, this is the providers. They're using two providers here. One is the AWS provider, one more is the null resource provider. They're using it. So this is the block, Terraform block. You will see in the like kind of in the original projects also we used to lock it. This is a good way to, even we are using it. Now one more. Sorry, your voice is low.
What basically the use of this null resource provider here?
Null resource doesn't create any resources, actually. It doesn't create anything. And then somewhere they'll be using it, like null resource doesn't create anything. Doesn't create it, but that is helpful for your, let's say, for example, I want to log into EC2 during my Terraform creation, something. Null resource doesn't create any resource internally. It doesn't do. That will help you to resource block somewhere. That is, I can say. Yeah. Good. Now you can see, right? So for now, my objective was, this is the one. What are the blocks are there in the currently in the Terraform code? If you see any Terraform code, and then how to print it, and then the mutable block and then immutable block. These are the ones. Cool. So now with this, right, we created yesterday the EC2, we created this EC2 mission now. As you guys were seeing, right, this thing to this console, you know, some of the properties regularly we are missing, right? One is this guy, he is missing, and one more. Let's go here. This guy. Security. Did it came? Yeah, it came. Let me say that. Earlier A79 was there. Sorry, not I missed it printing it. Instance ID 76F was there. Oh, same instance only it got updated. Okay. So we created EC2 mission from this Terraform code. We created it. But right, some of them, like regularly what we do in the console, some of the flavor we are missing it. The flavor in the sense we used to log into EC2, we create we install the Apache, some kind of things, right? We used to do like our Tomcat or some of the tools. So to log into this EC2, we need some kind of properties, right? You know already that property, the famous one is the key file, PEM file. Now I need to attach key file. What you can do, you can create the key pairs from here, or you can create the key pairs from the Terraform code also. From Terraform code also you can create it. Let me go here, this block. Let me bring it. Key pair, somewhere key pair will be there. Let's go. Is to key pair. You said if you have existing, you can do that. Otherwise, you can create resource also. Key pair. This is the syntax. Key pair. Copy. Yeah. Do what? Thumb rule.